How's it going, everyone? Back here again with another video. So this will be a collections video showing you the games that I have for the Sega Dreamcast. Eventually I'll try to show my PlayStation 2, original Xbox, Sega, pretty much all the games that I have currently in my collection. So the first collection that I want to show you is the Dreamcast, just because it's such a small overall list of games that I have acquired over the past couple of years. Really fun system to collect, but with the current market that they have, it's fairly expensive. But before I started collecting video games, I was trying to grab the games that I wanted to play, and this is pretty much where I came out regarding to some of the really hard to find titles. If you check now, these games are fairly expensive, so I was kind of glad to actually at least pick up some of the stuff before the whole gaming market kind of went pretty high in price. So without further ado, let's get it started. The first game here is Street Fighter Third Strike. I actually purchased this game at We Play Games before when I was going to the swap meet. I traded in a couple of games from that store, and this was actually one of the games that I wanted to pick up. Overall, a really fun fighting game. There's a lot of compilations for the PlayStation 2. I think it's the Street Fighter Anniversary or Collector's Edition. But I wanted to have the original edition for the Dreamcast. I do have the fight stick for it, and overall the game is really tough regarding to doing the parries. But again, it's good to play if you have friends over. You got that. Next game here is Illbleed. I got this from the swap meet at Broad Acres. I'm not too sure if the vendor that was selling this game actually knew the actual price, but it's a really obscure survival horror type game. And for $6, you know, I got it. I gave it a try, and I really got a good deal for this actually. So let's see if we open this up. Some of the games are the jewel cases are kind of finicky most of the time. Grandia 2, really awesome RPG, published by Ubisoft. I think when I got this game, I got this from at my local Savers. So when I first saw this game, I was scouring around the media aisle just to see if there's anything more, but there wasn't. But I was able to snag this up fairly cheap as well. Project Justice. I got this from my local buybacks. They were selling quite a few really rare titles fairly cheap, but I think I paid 50 or 60 bucks for this. Overall, a really fun game to play, really a niche type fighting type game from Capcom. Crazy Taxi 2. I got this from Zia Records for $8.99. Really enjoyed the Crazy Taxi series. I know they have it for the PlayStation 2. I played this on the arcade as well. Jet Grind Radio. My friend actually had this game, and just the visuals and the whole art style of it was really cool and obscure at the same time. You just pretty much go around town spraying graffiti in your rollerblades. I think there's some sort of anti. I think you play as one of the resistance, I guess, just because people were censoring out, or I'm not too sure. It's been a minute, but overall it's a really fun game. Power Stone 2, another game that my friend used to have. When the Dreamcast first released, he was able to get a bunch of really awesome games, and I always go over to his house to play it. Again, Power Stone 2, a really awesome family or party style, you know, free-for-all fighting type game, kind of like Super Smash Brothers, where there's a lot of power-ups and also weapons that you could actually acquire. I think the stage or the levels are really interactive. Fur Fighters. This was also ported on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox to my knowledge. It has like this really awesome lenticular cover, so I'll just make it see it on the screen. I got this for $8.99 at my local Zay Records as well. This game kind of reminded me of, I think, Conker's Bad Fur Day. So it's a really mature game. A lot of gore and violence. Sonic Adventure. Overall an auto include. Again, really awesome game. I think this was actually one of the launch titles that this system came with. One of the first official games that I got when I first got my Dreamcast, I got it from the Broadacre Swap Meet a while back. It did come with a game, but it was like a hockey and baseball game, which I never played. So I got this off from eBay a long time ago for like I think 20 bucks. I think that's when I first started like going online and purchasing like old retro games. We have here is Gunbird 2. It's like a Japanese type shmup or shoot 'em up type game. This came from We Play Games. And for the other game, I think the Street Fighter game, I did have some trading credits, so I used that to actually purchase this game. And it's also by Capcom. Next one here is Techromancer, a mech type fighting game. Really interesting. I wanted to pick up this game. I've seen gameplay of this before, and I had to pick it up. It was surprisingly at buybacks, and they were selling this for around I think 50-60 bucks. The First Crazy Taxi. This was a I think a thrift store find, either from Broadacres or Savers. Those are kind of the two thrift stores that I usually go to, just because in Vegas they have a lot of Goodwills, Savers, Desert Industries, so either one of those two or three. The First Power Stone. Got this for $8.99 at my local Zay Records. This game I haven't really tried out. This is Spy Operation Espionage. At Broadacres, there was this vendor that was selling like a bunch of random stuff, and this was one of the games that I found. I did ask to see if they had any more games, but they didn't really have anything special. This was kind of the one that caught my eye, just because it looks so different. And I haven't seen this game before, so I had to pick this up. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for this. Sword of the Berserk. This came from buybacks. I paid $10.99 or $11. It's a third-person type action game. Kind of reminds me of Dynasty Warriors when I first played it. Also, really cool disc art, where you pretty much see Guts, the main character's like scar or tattoo. So we have here is Zombie Revenge. This game came from the Swap Meet. Haven't really played this game just yet. Dynamite Cop, one of the games that I got from Portland Retro Gaming Expo a couple of years back. If you played Die Hard, I think it's also on the Saturn. It's a third-person beat-em-up game where during the beginning of the stage you get to choose different routes, and you get to pick out like how you want to go through each stage, and there's a lot of quick-time events. Again, I really suck at these quick-time events just because it goes pretty fast, but again, it's a really fun game to play as well. Silver, I haven't played this at all. This came from, I think, Sabers. Have here is Time Stalkers. This was from, I think, from Zia Records again. It was like $8.99. It was cheap. Actually haven't played this game as well. Next game here is Rippin' Riders. Got this from Desert Industries. It reminded me of 1080 on the Nintendo 64, so that's the reason why I got it. Plus, it was the only game worth picking up due to the fact, just because in the media section is all the media section where all the CDs and DVDs are all random. The Last Blade 2. Picked this game up last year at We Play. Still playing this game. It's a really fun game to play. It's like a samurai, or I think it has like ninjas, I guess, but a really obscure type fighting game. Record of Lotus War. Got this for $8.99. When I went to Zia Records, I think what I remembered was it was this game and I think a couple of RPG games that were like $8.99, and I just grabbed them just because I probably won't see these games again. I haven't played this game as well, but it was fairly cheap, so eventually I'll get a chance to actually play these games. Mostly like Power Stone, Last Blade, Dynamite Cop. Those were kind of like, and Tech Romancer. Those are the type of games that I continuously play just because it's just plug in and just go through throughout the action. I know for most of these games right here takes a little bit more time. Sonic Adventure 2, pretty much another auto include for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. This is the only game that I actually took time on, which is the first Shenmue. My friend actually had this game as well, and despite the visuals and how like the character models are, and plus the fight scenes, the cutscenes are really awesome. Feels like you're watching like a movie, and everything looks so real back in the day. So I got myself a copy of this. I think I got this from eBay. So I think it has like 4 discs. It's all complete. So we have disc 1. Disc 2, the passport with the manual as well, and disc 3. I do have the collector's edition for Shenmue 3, one of the limited run releases that they have. And I also got the HD, I guess the HD remake of the first one and second one. But again, kind of reiterate this again as like a broken record, it's a really fun game. So we have 2 games left. We have here is Virtual On. The first introduction to this game was on the arcade at my, I think it was from a casino, I think it's from the Luxor, where they had like this huge arcade area, and this game was actually one of the games displayed. Like they had, I think, Crazy Taxi, Daytona USA, this Star Wars game where you like have like a lightsaber and you're like fighting Darth Vader. But this game I spent all my quarters just because you're pretty much piloting like a mech basically, and you have those twin sticks. I think they have the twin sticks for the Dreamcast, I think, but I do have the one for the Sega Saturn. And again, really fun game to play. Paid $8.99 at my Zia Records. And last game is Phantasy Star Online. I got this from this swap meet. I'm not too sure if the camera could pick it up, but the front portion of this is like really sun faded. But the game plays. I played a little bit of it. One of my friends had this game on the GameCube. You pretty much sink a lot of hours in these games, but I heard these games are fairly fun. So anyways, that's pretty much it. That is all of the games that I have for the Sega Dreamcast. There is a few titles that I want to get, but overall, Pretty happy with the stuff that I got, and with the current prices that they have in like eBay, Amazon, I think, or like those retro video game stores, they get pretty pricey. So I was glad enough to actually pick up most of these games when they were kind of cheap, or the prices were kind of right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is all the games that I have for this console. Stay tuned for the next video where I might showcase other games in my collection. For the bigger collection, I'm probably going to either relocate to another location or another area in my house, but we'll go through that situation once we get there. But anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys later. Right, bye.